Hello and welcome to the first devlog for Diverage, or Diverage. Apparently most of you pronounce it as, but I just can't say that, it doesn't sound right to me. Diverage. I think Diverage. Diverage sounds a lot more natural to me. Diverage. Anyway, in today's video, I'm just going to go over some of the things that I've been asked frequently, as well as some of the things that I just feel like I should talk about. So first of all, I've had a lot of people asking me about the amount of players that are going to be per match in the game. People are saying it's going to be 100, will it be more than that, will it be less than that? Short answer, I don't currently know. Long answer, it depends on a lot of things. It depends on what the server can handle, it depends on what the game client can handle, it depends on the size of the map. Currently, the actual scale of the map has not been decided. Obviously, a bigger map would have more players, a smaller map would have less players. And it also depends on just what you all think feels most natural. At some point, I will be conducting multiple tests with people who sign up for the alpha. I might run a few games with 25 players, and then a few games with 75 players, and then I'll get some feedback as to which one felt like a better pace. Was it better to feel more alone until the later zones, or was it better to right off the bat have a lot of players and a lot of action? It all depends on what you all feel is more natural to play, and which one you all feel has a better pacing to it. As far as rarities go, I'm currently planning to have 5 rarities for the weapons and also the cosmetics in the game. There is grey, green, purple, gold, and red. Grey is common, green is standard, purple is rare, gold is legendary, and red is gemstone. Of course, those are subject to change, but for now, that's what I'm testing the game out with. Now, a lot of games with rarity systems do have a blue rarity, but obviously being underwater, I didn't want these weapons to be hard to spot or anything like that, so there's no blue rarity. Obviously, the higher the rarity will affect how the weapon is. So a red pistol would do a lot more damage than a grey pistol, but possibly have a slightly higher reload time. Which also brings me on to player health. The player will have 100 health, and that is how they will spawn into the game. I would also like to have some extra mechanics on top of this, but at this current moment, I'm not 100% sure about what I would like this to be. I've been considering some form of armor or shield system, but I would like to make it more unique than just finding an item and using it to gain that armor or shield. One idea I've been having is that the armor is at 50, and it will recharge whenever you haven't been in combat for more than 10 seconds. This would encourage you to engage in fights more, as if you deal damage to someone and then leave it a few seconds, then they will have gained back some of the damage that you inflicted upon them. I've also been considering, rather than shield and armor, it could be a damage multiplier. So maybe you start off with the standard whatever damage is inflicted upon you, you receive, but then maybe there are ways to lessen that. So instead you'll only receive 75% of the damage that's been inflicted upon you. I think the most likely scenario is that a few of these will be trialled out in the alpha phases, and I will then base the final system for the game on feedback from all of you. Moving on to the drop system. So how will you spawn into the game, how will the start of the game play out, etc, etc. So the idea that I've had in mind is the map will be split into maybe 4x4 or 6x6 squares, depending on how big the map is. And at the start of the game, you can select a square, and then when the countdown to the start of the game ends, you will spawn in above that square, skydiving down. However, each square will also show you how many people in the match have that square selected. So right off the bat, you'll be able to see where the hot drops are right now, so you can tactically drop depending on whether you want to engage in a fight instantly, or avoid people until mid-game, or just go off entirely by yourself. And finally, I'd like to reveal one of the points of interest in the game. Visiones, an underwater, abandoned, forgotten lab. It used to be home to unthinkable experiments, but now, instead, it is just home to more water. The scientists have long disappeared, but some say we've not seen the last of them. So yeah, this place does hold up a lot of the big lore in the game, and more of that will be revealed soon. As for actual gameplay, it has lots of thin corridors which open up to more open rooms. So the open rooms will allow for, obviously, more open combat, whereas the thin corridors will be much more claustrophobic, but with lots of places to hide throughout them. And with how thin the corridors are, they will be a danger for any explosives, should anyone use any on you. Anyway, thanks for listening to this week's devlog. I'll see you next time. Thanks for the support.